How you doing, Skip? You good?
Maybe not.
There you go. All right. Well, Shannon at least happy today, and that is because the Lakers are officially the #1 seed in the West after an 8-point win over the Jazz last night, thanks to Anthony Davis's 42 points and LeBron's 22. It's the first time the Lakers are the top seed in the conference since 2010. And after the game, LeBron said that he proved his doubters wrong, saying, quote, "They said I can't do it. I can just say it feels damn good to be the #1 seed in the West. For me, personally." So, Shannon, what was your biggest takeaway last night?
All aboard! The A train is now leaving to the #1 seed.
You mean the AD train?
A train, AD. You know it, Skip. Hold on. You nicknamed me all done.
Yeah.
You had everybody key.
Yeah, I was all done in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you were. And then he put a Jackie Robinson number on him. 42-12.
Sure did.
Ooh, and he didn't just do that to anybody. He did that to the old French chef, a Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Made a mess of him, old Grey Poupon everywhere, all over the court.
That is true.
Did you see it? That's 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. That Anthony Davis just put 42, 12, and 5 on.
Last night, I had no idea how he ever won Defensive Player of the Year.
No, you understand why Magic Johnson, when everybody and Rob Pelinka was willing to move heaven and earth. Skip, that's a generational talent. As great as Brandon Ingram is playing, as great as Alonzo Ball you believe that he's going to be.
Josh Hart's been pretty good.
They can't be that. They can't be 6'10 and a half and can go get you those numbers. He showed you what he's capable of, Skip Bayless, against a premier defense.
So would you say he's now the best player on the Lakers?
It's not your turn.
It seems like that's what you're starting to make the case
my turn
of.
right now, Skip Bayless.
I'm just leading the witness.
I want you to lead the witness. Skip, look. AD, they made a conscious effort to get AD the ball early. But AD made a conscious effort to be more assertive. Now, Saturday, he only had 7 shots in the entire ball game. Last night, he had 14 shots at the end of the first quarter. He got it going. He said, okay, LeBron is making a conscious effort to get AD involved early, even at the detriment of his own numbers. He said, okay. He said, but don't worry about me.
That's how it works.
He said, don't worry about me. I'm going to be okay because I've done this before. At the end of the day, Skip, Anthony Davis is the one mismatch that nobody in the Western Conference has an answer for because either they're too small or they're too big. Rudy Gobert is too big, so what does he do? He pulls him away from the basket, shoots over the top of him. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, anybody else in the Western Conference that he could potentially face, they're too small, so he can just post them up, shoot over the top of them. And guess what? He could put it on the floor, drive, to the free throw line we went, Skip Bayless, again. He looking like James Harden at the free throw line, drawing on the free throw attempts. But Skip, look, no one is surprised by this. And like LeBron said, we're the #1 seed when people like you and others said it couldn't be done. I want my money because if I'm not mistaken, I think the over-under was like 47, maybe 49. Blew past that. You better be glad, Skip. You better be glad we didn't have our full 82 because we're on a 63-win pace, and nobody saw that coming. And if they say they did, they're lying. Only me and the Lakers saw that coming because everybody said the Clippers was going to be the #1 seed, and they're going to be disappointed again because guess what? We coming up out the West.
What a difference 48 hours made, right? Because that same guy, Anthony Davis, I watched take 1 shot against Toronto in the whole fourth quarter, took 14 in the first quarter last night. The same AD, all done, against the Clippers in 4 fourth quarters this year, totaled 9 shots attempted. Think about that. He played 4 fourth quarters against the team down in his own basement. The team that they want to shame and humiliate. And he tried 9 shots in all 4 fourth quarters combined. Last night, he took 14 in the first quarter, and I didn't think it was about LeBron. I thought it was just about him. Just saying, give me the damn ball, LeBron, and get out of my way. I'm going to work on the quote-unquote Defensive Player of the Year, who looked like he had cement shoes on last night. That's what it looked like to me. So here's what happened. Let me explain how all-time lucky you were down the stretch. According to Fox Bet, the spread last night was 6.5 points. So I felt sorry for you yesterday because I've taken so many cases of Diet Mountain Dew, Breakfast of Champions, off you that I said, you know what? I would never bet a nickel on this game, but I'll bet one case of Dew because I'm so many cases up. Just for fun, I'll try it. I wouldn't have bet on it. But I thought, what the heck? Because I thought the Lakers should win by 10 or 12 points, and they won by, what was it, 8? Okay, so what happened in the game? The Lakers go on a 19-5 run featuring that guy, number 3, down the stretch of the quarter that he owns. He is Mr. Third Quarter, and he just took it over. 19-5, kaboom, and it looks like it's over. And all of a sudden, as the fourth quarter opens up, LeBron James is front running. He starts to showboat. He starts to hot dog. He made 1 3 from like Sarasota.
Yeah, you saw that?
It was from Sarasota. Yeah. He just pulls up because you're front running. You don't have any pressure. There's nothing to worry about. And he just says, I'll try this one.
That's a Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, whoa, boom. And he's hot dogging.
That should be a 4-pointer.
Okay, here we go. And then there was a play a little later in the game. With about 3 minutes left. They still looked like they were in charge when LeBron dribbles down the lane and he
fall away.
No, he kind of lost his feet and he actually traveled here. And he's keying, he's cutting up, he's laughing. Oh, he's clowning. Oh, it's so much fun. Oh, cover your face, Bron. Oh, come on now. Oh.
That wasn't no travel.
Oh.
By the way.
Okay, they are front running and they are about to get in trouble because Donovan Mitchell from my team, the Jazz, who are hapless without Bogdanovich, he is their leading three-point shooter. He's shooting 42% from 3 and he just had wrist surgery. So what happened now? Here we go down the stretch. Anthony hits an incredible shot, a 3-point shot, and gets an and one on Gobert.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm cooked. Here he is. He just pulls up on Gobert, and Gobert slaps him across the wrist.
Bam!
Boom. And I think, I'm cooked. But Donovan Mitchell comes right back and says, no, I can top that. I'll try this. And he gets slapped across the wrist, and he makes a 4-point play, and I'm back to only 6. So I'm winning right now. Then Anthony Davis is about to miss, and Donovan Mitchell gets the rebound, and he's off to the races. He's going. We didn't see the rest of the tape, but he's going to the other end.
Layup.
He's got a wide open dunk, and I'm saying just dunk it.
No.
Yes, we got to play the whole tape again here. All right, we got to start the whole tape over here again. But anyway, Donovan Mitchell. Okay, so it's a 4-1 play. We're going to have to hold on just a second here. Then we get the miss on the other end, and Donovan Mitchell is going. He's off to the races, and I've got a wide open dunk to win my bet. This is going to be it because nobody guards it. Just dunk it.
No.
Dunk it, but he's got to kick it out for a 3 because they're down 6, and Royce O'Neal misses, and guess who gets the rebound and gets fouled? That guy, the automatic free throw maker, gets it, and here we go. And
you still had another chance.
There was, one chance at the end of the game. Donovan Mitchell takes an inbounds from Ingles and goes up on one leg and rips it. Mm-hmm. And the referee says the inbounds pass bounced on the black line.
Yeah.
So they call it off or you lose.
Yeah.
It would have cut it back to 5 points, and I got 6.5. So I got screwed. You got lucky. You deserved a break, and you finally got a break.
Hold on. Skip Bayless, you're down by 6 points, and you want the man to dunk the ball just so you can cover the...
Yeah, maybe you can steal the inbounds pass. I need to cover. I need to cover.
Well, just say that.
Donovan, what are you doing? Because some people would coach that, just take the dunk.
No, ain't nobody
Some would
that.
coach that, take the dunk and try to steal the inbounds pass.
Yeah. You're still down 4. So even if you steal the inbound, you're going to be, if you make a 3-pointer. Because you see LeBron, everybody had pulled off. They want you to go. Remember? That's what you said about the Lakers when they played the Mavericks. Mm-hmm. LeBron, what are you doing? Are you going to dunk it and end the game? Oh! And he gets...
Yeah, I didn't think he had another option at that point. And he was so lucky.
He had plenty of options.
He didn't... Yeah, he had one option because Dwight Howard, he just grabbed the jersey and held it to free Danny Green in the corner. The Danny Green that you despise now.
I mean, look, Danny is trying. He's struggling with his shot. Yep. He was even putting the ball on the floor last night trying to get to the rim. He just needs to see the ball go in. Skip, look, LeBron, they are making an effort. AD is going to be the front and center in these playoffs. Because, Skip, there is no answer for him. There is none. You're right. There are a lot of teams that can throw a lot of different bodies at LeBron. They got a lot of 6'7", 6'8" guys. Maybe they're not as strong as he is, but you can throw enough bodies at him. But you don't have a body. If you throw Nurkic is too big, too slow. If you throw Whiteside, he's too slow. I don't know. Whiteside has been generous since Nurkic has come back. He's kind of been relegated to the bench, and he normally plays well in the contract year, Skip.
Shannon, you're forgetting about that team in the basement.
What about them?
They cause him big trouble.
They don't call AD?
Yeah. I just told you in 4 fourth quarters against the Clippers, he's taken a grand total of 9 shots.
That's okay.
You know why? Because 2 people are on him. Trez is on him. Trez isn't even there yet.
Right.
And
are you
Kawhi's
sure
on
Trez
him.
coming?
Yeah, somebody's on him.
Are you sure Trez coming?
I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Oh,
You better hope he does.
Why would I hope that? So you could have another excuse when LeBron gets out of the West and wins the title. Oh, Trez wasn't there. Oh, Lemon Pepper Lou went to Magic City. You're going to come up with all these reasons.
He did go to Magic City.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Right now, he's back in the Magic Kingdom, as are the Clippers, and they're starting to look magical to me. If they could get Trez back, they will be just fine, thank you. And I would still call them a slight favorite, even though they've had disunity that they're going to have to figure out and overcome. But they're just better than the Lakers, and if talent prevails, they will prevail.
Well, we split. We played 4 games. We split them.
Okay.
So how can you? Hey, and guess what, Skip? They said the Lakers were going, not the Lakers, but the Clippers were going to be the number 1 seed in the West.
Okay, so here we go again. You are gloating off an opponent that this team owned all year. They played 3 times, and the Lakers won 3 pretty easy games.
So why
Utah?
Well, hold on.
No Bogdanovich. And by the way, the MVP of the night for the Lakers was the ex-Laker Jordan Clarkson. He goes 2 for 13. He goes 1 for 9 from 3, and they shoot a grand total of 27.9% from 3. You were lucky.
So let me ask you a question. In the previous 2 games, did they have Bogdanovich?
Yes, they did.
So in other words, he made no difference when they had him.
They had Mike Conley in the 2 previous games, except they really didn't have him because I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't winning any horse tournament the previous 2 games.
Skip, he was making some shots last
night. He started to cook.
Because he's so herky-jerky. I mean, he's either, like you said, he's ambidextrous. So either hand, next thing you know, he's dribbling with the right. Next thing you know, he's laid it up on the glass with his left hand. Why you won't give us no credit?
So then after the game, LeBron James had the audacity on that given night to gloat about winning the West, saying, they said I couldn't do it.
That's what they say.
They said I couldn't do it, so he said, I'm going to enjoy this one. He said, it personally means so much to me. That on a night in which his new teammate had carried him with 42 points and 12 rebounds and shot 12 free throws, which were 9 more than anybody else on the team. It was all AD all the time last night. You know it, and I know it.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Okay, but how on that night could LeBron say, this means so much to me personally? Has he ever had a more gifted, talented teammate than that man?
No.
He had Dwayne when he got to Miami, and Dwayne's all about intangibles, and I'll take Dwayne's intangibles over that guy's any day or night.
Right.
But that guy's talent at, what do we call him, 6'10"?
Yeah.
And he's shooting threes, and he's shooting free throws like he's 5'11".
90% from the free throw line, 37 to 41 if I'm not mistaken.
Unbelievable. And so I'm saying, LeBron, you're gloating about winning the West when your first go-round in the West, when you didn't have him, was a disaster.
Okay, it was, but what about now?
It was 28-27 when you started games. There was a blooper reel, and I'm not going to call for the blooper reel because it's not fair on a day you did clinch the West.
Okay,
but let's look at the West. The point is that the East is starting to rival the West. It is. It just is. The West is no longer clearly the best.
I just want to know one thing.
Yeah.
Where do the Clippers reside? So now the Clippers aren't any good. The
Clippers have played 12 total games this year with their full roster intact. You like that? Because I don't like that.
You knew that when you signed Kawhi. He was not going to practice.
But they've all been hurt. It's been one thing after another. It starts to feel not meant to be. Even in the bubble, it's nothing but trouble.
Okay, what's Paul George's history with injuries?
He was coming off 2 shoulder surgeries.
Okay, and he broke his leg, and he came back even better.
So help me out. Is Kevin Durant still in the West? Wait a second. Is Steph in the West? Is Clay in the West?
Yes.
Yeah, they are, but they didn't play this year. And Kevin Durant didn't play this year, and he's now in the East. Was there a dynasty left in Golden State? No, they became, improbably, the worst team in all of basketball this year, and you're gloating about dominating the West?
We're not.
Really?
We're going to talk about this West.
Okay. Well, I want to finish it right now because did my Spurs have Duncan, Parker, or Ginobili this year? No, they're sub 500.
Don't do that.
They try hard.
For real, Skip.
Okay, for real.
Hold on.
Did Zion play all year this year? No, he didn't. He's still a baby and he's still out of shape, and we're going to talk about him in just a minute. But they didn't have to deal with full strength, full bore Zion this year. And Utah was never quite right, and Denver was never quite right, and Portland didn't have Nurkic and didn't have Zach Collins. They finally do.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, but think about what you're up against. It wasn't the West anymore.
And the Rockets didn't have Elijah.
Okay, the Rockets, again, James said the other night that he and Russ are just now figuring each other out because it was going to take a while.
Right.
And they're finally starting to click. We'll see if they still click tonight against Portland. But the point is, was that impressive to win the West when you had that guy as your quote-unquote sidekick? I think LeBron was more of a sidekick to him.
Okay, but let me ask you a question, Skip. In all the years, nobody has ever said, so was Kareem not talented with Magic?
Sure.
Was Shaq not talented with Kobe?
But that's not the point. We're talking in today's context
but
of the West.
But Skip, he's in the West. First in the West, the West. He goes to the West. Let me ask you a question. What guy... Maybe Nowitzki, but when you look at it, all the teams, Shaq, Kobe, Kareem Magic, Kareem and Oscar, people don't realize this, you do. The Bucks used to be in the West. They were the number 1 seed, but Kareem had Bobby Danrich, and he also had Big O. So, Skip, stop this notion that one guy was...
Who has a duo like this duo? Who can compete in the West? Who has two players like these guys?
Well, who had a duo like Magic and Kareem?
We're talking now. I don't care what happened in ancient history.
But you can't do that.
Yes, you can.
You got to compare it. So who had a duo like Shaq and Kobe?
Okay, but we're talking today. I don't care about that. Who had Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili? They were a dynasty.
Okay, so why is it a big deal for LeBron to have...
Who else has that right now?
Who else had Shaq and Kobe?
Current competition. Who has it?
Skip.
Who has those two? And if you look hard at Anthony Davis's year so far, I can make a strong case he should be the MVP.
Hold on.
And I'm serious. He's outscoring LeBron. He's obviously out-rebounding LeBron.
On,
How about PER? You know PER, right?
Yeah.
Player efficiency rating. Anthony ranks 3rd. LeBron is now 10th in the league in PER. You like that?
Skip, you just told me from 1999 to 2001, no player in NBA history was more dominant than one Shaquille O'Neal. He also had alongside him, a lot of people say he's a top 5 player in Kobe Bryant. Now you're talking about LeBron James has Anthony Davis.
Okay, time out. When Shaq clinched the West in those years, did he gloat? They said I couldn't do it. Nobody said you couldn't do it because everybody thought you would do it.
Hold on. Shaq got there in 96.
Okay.
So where was the number 1 seed in 96, 97, 98?
Okay, well, he didn't have that Kobe. He
had Kobe?
Well, he had him when he was 18.
Oh, so now see, Skip.
And they needed Phil to try to help them figure it out.
You know what? For a man your size, you're really strong. Because you can just pick up goalposts and move them at will. How you do that so easy? Because every time...
I can bench press a goalpost.
Because every time you keep saying, okay, they said LeBron wouldn't be doing this in the West. Obviously, if LeBron had gone to the West and you give him a team like the Cavaliers, he's not going to be the number 1 seed.
If he had so much as just made the playoffs with last year's Lakers team in the West, I would have been highly impressed.
Well, how about this here?
He did not even make the playoffs.
How about that team make the playoffs without LeBron? Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, they got Zion, they got Ingram. Go make the playoffs.
I like their chances.
I don't.
We're going to talk about that in just a moment.
I don't.
I love their chances.
All I know is I love my team. I love my team. We 51 up.
You love your best player.
We love
who happens to wear 3, not 23.
Time out. Yeah, I'm gonna get a jersey. I'm gonna get a 3 jersey too. I would be rocking 3. The 323 is where it's at.
Really?
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
The real Cali number, not 213, 323.
And when the real games start and the tough defensive opponents come,
what is?
All of a sudden, AD stands for all done in the 4th quarter.
Oh, so in other words, Rudy Gobert is tough. Now, he might win Defensive Player of the Year again.
You know what? He plays with concrete shoes. He does.
Yeah.
Last night, I'm watching him saying, what are you doing?
Rudy Gobert.
Loses track. He just sort of stands in the lane. If you happen to challenge him where he can just stand on his tiptoes and block your shot, that's a problem.
But that's a lot of problem because he keeps people from coming down the lane. Skip, Rudy Gobert plays the same night in and night out. He's a typical 5, old school 5. That's it. They really run no plays for him except lobs, or he'll get stuff off the backboard and stuff at home, and he clogs up the lane.
You know
That's what he is.
The Jazz are the easiest matchup in the West for the Lakers. In the West, of any of the playoff teams in the West. Easiest matchup.
They don't want to see us.
Yep.
And Skip,
The Jazz don't.
at some point in time, some of our threes going to have to, because everybody else raining threes. We can't buy a 3 on a consistent basis.
Well, you're a little better last night.
A little. Very little.
35%. That'll
Wow.
work.
Okay.
Yep. If you can keep making 35, you got a shot.
But we need
The
to.
Clippers are making 40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But y'all caught that L. You made 40 against us and still caught an L. And LeBron didn't even play good. I ain't even talked about LeBron that only having 8 shots
I
at the half.
got 2 words for you. Lemon pepper.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting those to be the 2
Yep.
words.
Lemon pepper. Just remember, lemon pepper.
Okay.
I will not forget at this point. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.